All right. Yep. So what we are doing today is basically to go through procurement with you. I was going to give you some procurement um, recording for last, that Sunday where we had a long Sunday. And I realized that it's not very appropriate because if I give you those recordings, then it's like a bit like no head, no tail. So I prefer we start today on procurement and then I replace that class with the following recording. It's the same thing, okay? But it probably makes more sense in that way. So today we're going to go through procurement, the overview of procurement, and then I will leave you with some recordings. Then at the other last hour or so, or before the last hour or so, we will actually go through your assignment with you. I'm owing a lot of people comments on assignment. Well, some people put the assignment onto ELIP. Actually, ELIP is for submission. Okay, if you put it on ELIP, it means that you are already submitting the assignment to me. So it's not a draft, So what happened is there is a limited numbers of submission on ELIP. So I may have to cancel some of your things out first, and then let you we go through it today and comment, and then on the right day you submit the assignment. You can submit early, but if you want me to comment on your assignment, you can either email me or WhatsApp me. Okay, for people who are not used to WhatsApp, you can email me. I think I've given you my email address. Later on, I will type my email address again in a group. Okay, and you can email me, okay, or like I said, you can WhatsApp me, okay. I remember I received 1 or 2 assignments before last week, and I was really having a very, very, very packed week, these 2 weeks. So I haven't got the time to look at it at all yet, unfortunately. And I know most of you are actually very busy handing in your other assignments and also Dr. Lee's assignment as well. So I didn't really actually make an effort in that sense lah. But today I want to spend the last my last class with you basically on the project itself. Okay, and then anything after that you still can WhatsApp me or email me, it's fine. Yeah, if you need me to have an extra class, you can do so. Okay, but just let me know ASAP. Don't leave it until the very, very end. But otherwise, I could probably just communicate with you guys on a one-to-one basis. Okay, and yeah, I mean, like what I'm hoping to do today is to make sure that all your directions are actually correct already, in the right track, going along the right line. Whether you're going to ask me later on about small details, like can I do these things like this, like this, like this, I think it doesn't really matter. You should have your own way of managing project. You should have your own way of coming up with your own estimators, which you do have your own way of writing your report. I mean, these are the things that we cannot really constrain you, especially on master's level, in terms of application. So as long as we get the direction as in how you do your estimators worksheet right, what you've included in the estimators worksheet, or your calculation, you've put in what kind of consideration, as long as those assumption, considerations, those constraints, those discussion that you do, the thoughts that you have is not totally off the wire. We are not going to be too particular about whether somebody is going to do it from top to bottom or bottom to the right or up and down, like put this one here or put that one there, small things like that. You should have autonomy to actually come up with your own format, in that sense of writing your own report and doing your own estimators worksheet, okay? I know, I understand that when I do this online with everybody to let you show me your assignment, you may find it a little bit uncomfortable. you may find it a bit uncomfortable. You may feel, other people see my work. Some people may feel like you're paiseh, like a bit like malu, people see my work not very complete and all that. That's fine, I mean, not everybody is up to track, we understand, but as long as you can hand in later, who cares, And then some people may feel like I think I've done such a good job. What if people copy me, Like, come on. I think we're all adults here, we don't have to worry about things like that, As long as you have learned something, you have, you know how to go about doing it. If other people want to copy you, let them copy. It means that you are good. That's why people want to copy you, isn't it? No? So I don't think that should be a concern, at your age, as a student in terms of doing masters and all that. You should be very happy people are copying you. You should be very happy, I mean, by looking at it for like a few seconds like this or a few minutes like this, I don't think people can copy you up to the like certain level, like that kind of precision as well, So I don't think that should be your worry as well. So we just share our assignment with one another, share our thoughts with one another, do discussions with one another. We inspire one another. We try to create more good estimators worksheet, from there. We try to improve the industry that way, not just, oh, my thing is my thing, your thing is your thing, what if you copy me and Dr. Ting deduct my mark, we always threaten we always threaten deducting marks with our final year students or with our undergraduate students. I mean, those people, they are too young to learn to copy and all that, I mean, they shouldn't do that. But for you guys, I think it's not. I mean, we never do that. Not that, you want to copy assignment for one and then like copy and paste, something like that. We also will be very worried. You should be worried about plagiarism. You should be worried about the idea being stolen, that kind of thing. Yes, we should worry about that. But small things like how you format the table, how you, some mistake that you make, people learn from it and all that, I think that is fine. That shouldn't be something of major concern. Okay. So so what we're going to do today is go through the class with you guys first, and then after that we're going to sorry, this is so we're going to go through the class with you guys first, and then we will leave how much time we have for assignments. Then by tomorrow we will post I will post up the rest of the procurement classes for you. Mainly another, like 18 120 minutes or so. Then you guys can just run through it at your own leisure all the way to the end of the semesters. Anytime, you just have to go through that before exams, okay? And and when Dr. Lee comes back to you, should be next week if I'm not wrong. She will give you a class on integration, on strategic planning, like how to integrate everything together, stakeholders management, that sort of stuff. And then she will finish it up with exam tips, So I will get her to record the lecture. All my lectures are recorded. Like now, it is being recorded. So no worries for you guys if you cannot attend the class. Like I say, it's better to be in the class so that you can ask questions, so that you can get a feel about what I'm talking about, rather than listening it over, your own cup of coffee or something like that, and then you may not get it completely, at that time, and then you can't ask questions. So always coming to the class is the best, but in case you can't, I mean, my lecture, Dr. Lee's lecture, we will normally just record it. I mean, she will record it, I believe, but I'm not sure whether she posted it up online. But mine, I'm pretty sure I post up all the classes that I have with you on the online face-to-face basis. It's all like 2 hours, 3 hours. I've already converted that to YouTube videos. You can just click on it and then it will bring you to YouTube, and then it will play on YouTube and you can listen back anytime you want, okay? So for her class next week, I know some people are not around because it's very, very close to Christmas. And I think I will also remind her to record and post. But during the class, you also remind her to post, especially on the exam tips. The Dr. Lee, can you please record the lecture? I've got friends who are not here, and we would like to listen back to your lecture later on, and remind her to post it online as well. Okay, so I think that is what It's going to be happen in the last 3 classes, including today, and then that will be end of this semester already, and end of project management class. Okay, and some of you will have quality management with me. This time round, quality management class on the 21st will be fully by pre-recorded because I am not around. So I post up everything already, and I will also provide all the exam tips online. I'll also provide all the exam tips because I don't have assignment with you, so I'm not very concerned with quality management. And my one is more on project quality management, so not much of a very big topic. It's only 2 small topics. Then I will also type it up in the group later on when the time is closer about what my part will be in exams. And I will also brief Dr. Shelley as well. She's going to do exam tips class with you as well, I think. I'm not so sure, but I think normally she would. So she will go through my questions with you as well. Okay. So I think next week, if you're planning anything for the 6 hours class, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But I will post out the classes first. So anytime you want, you can just listen to it. Okay. So that would be the planning for this week and next week with me. Yeah, for those of you who are not sitting for quality management, it's not a concern now. Yeah? Okay, now let's move on to procurement management. Okay, I think the word procurement, a lot of us are, we are familiar with it. Some of us are not. Okay. I think if you are undergraduate students, normally this will be the first time that you will hear things like this. Okay. But procurement management is a very common thing. It's very much part of project management. It's about system. It's about a system to deliver the project. In the beginning, when we have scope management, when we do time management, we do cost management, we do various type of management. We are coming up with the scope of work. We are coming up with the time plan. We're coming up with the cost plan, quality plan, and all that. But when it comes to delivery, procurement is coming up with the delivery plan. Okay, so that is the keywords here. We are delivering the project. Okay, and it's about a system, a management systems. It's about coming up with the methods of delivery. It's about coming up with a system that delivers the project. It's like the word procurement is like purchase, it's like buying. If you look at the word procure, okay, it's in English dictionary, it's actually purchase, okay, it's actually buying, it's actually acquiring, okay, so it's acquisition. The closest word to me is acquisition. How do you acquire the final product? How did you make it into a reality? Making it into a reality, normally we are putting the concern with construction. Okay, for us it's construction, but for the delivery phase of the delivery phase of the project, before we are doing construction, we need to be thinking about procurement. Procurement is like creating, okay, or establishing a system, method, the contractual relationship, okay, for people, for all the stakeholders to come together to deliver the project. So before construction will start, construction is a very physical, very practical concentration activities. It's concentration. It's a very practical aspects of the project to realize the project, to make it into a reality. But procurement is the part that you are thinking about how to go about doing it. You see, how to go about setting up a system to purchase, to acquire, to actually make it into a reality. So procurement and construction, both of this stage, okay, is actually under the realization phase, or what we call the delivery phase of the project. Okay, so it is more considered as delivery. It's part of delivery. Without that, you cannot do construction. You see, because this part here is about thinking about delivery on a very strategic level. About the methods, about the methods, and also about the what is that word? It's about the adoption of certain strategies, in order to deliver the project. And it's about what type of contract you're going to be adopting, how you're going to put people together, what kind of relationship that you're going to have with one another. So it's like a very initial phase whereby we try to establish all these things. It's like we are mapping everything out first before we actually go on to the delivery, the actual realization, the actual construction phase. Because when you go on to the construction phase, it's very, very late already. It's like it's already there, the plans are already there. It's all about execution, it's all about actions, it's all about practicality, it's all about getting things done. We are so busy getting things done, you see. So this is time, the earlier part when doing the delivery is about the delivery phase. It's about procurement, it's about this strategic thinking, it's about these arrangements, it's about how to establish that contractual relationship, and how to establish that particular relationship whereby everybody will later on do their duties and their roles and know their rights accordingly. So procurement actually deals a lot, with setting up that earlier stage, of construction, earlier stage of the delivery. Okay, so that is why it is very important. Okay? And what else can I say? Okay, so to acquire the project. So this is a very, very important sort of like a framework. Okay, it's a very important framework. It's like three phase. You have your pre-award phase, you have your award phase, you have your post-award phase. So construction comes is the post-award phase. Okay, so you are in the award cycle, you award the project, and this is the time two things will go together. Physically, we will have construction, and contractually, we are going to do contract administration. So this is a two phase that we are looking at. That this is not two phase. This is a two cycle, two things, two stage that we're looking at, during post-award stage, post-award phase. Phase is bigger, ladies and gentlemen. Phase is bigger. Phase, under phase, we may have different stages. Okay, so phases are always, to me, is bigger. Okay, so at the post-award phase, you will have the construction stage. You will also have the contractual administration stage. And in fact, they are not different from one another. In fact, it is parallel. It's going together at the same time. Anything that you do in a contractual cycle, you are actually portraying and mirroring the construction cycle. Okay, so it's together. So procurement phase is everything. Okay, it's everything. Everything from requirement all the way to contractual cycle. Okay, so this is the whole process of that you need to plan out under this word procurement management. Okay, so if we look at procurement at a very general level, it's about, like I say, not everybody here are civil engineers, not everybody here are in construction, so sometimes I have to remind myself, that we do have other engineers as well. Okay, so yeah, so basically on a general level, it's about planning purchase. You plan your acquisition, you have to plan your contracting, and then you are going to solicitate your seller's response, and then select your sellers, and then award the contract, and then falls into the delivery, falls into the supply, falls into the actual actions, fall into construction, falls into building, and then at the same time, we're doing contract administration. Then after that, we finish a contract, we hand over the project back to the client, and the client will start to use it, and then we're going to be in the operation and maintenance cycle. So these are, on a very general level, this is what procurement is all about, okay? And basically, we are planning contracting, okay? We are planning contracting. We are planning what strategies you want to use, okay? What strategies you want to use to actually acquire. And then you're also planning your contracting, like what kind of contract you're going to have with the suppliers, with the with the contractors, or with the builders, with the service providers. So planning contracting is pretty much one of the most important aspects, okay, of procurement. And procurement strategies is, of course, the very, very big umbrella that we're talking about here. To know what is your procurement strategies, and then to plan your contract type. And then after that, you're going to plan on to how to solicitate sellers' response. So this is normally we call requests for quotations, getting your bids or getting your tender ready, your proposals, requests for proposals, requests for tenders, requests for bids, requests for quotations. These are what we call requests for seller response. And then, of course, we're going to have evaluation criteria to solicitate, so what kind of solicitation criteria? I'm pretty sure a lot of us, a lot of you will be in this level of work, QSs do a lot of this, and there are managerial levels who do a lot of this. All engineers do this part, like consulting engineers will do a lot of this as well, because you are planning all your documents, and all that, so that it can be sent out. And then you will also be part of selecting the sellers, the people who are your contractors, who actually send in their bids and all that. And of course, if you work for government, government agencies do a lot of that as well. A private client level, client engineers do a lot of this as well, especially on the request for sellers response and select your sellers. So these are quite common, okay? Very, very common activity during solicitation stage. Then once we confirm on who we are going to be doing, who's going to be doing the work for us, post negotiation maybe, then we will actually have the agreement set up. That will be what we call contract. Okay, and then you are going to award contract to certain companies, certain individuals who will actually help you to deliver, who will actually be the one who is going to be delivering the project, or to construct, or to supply, or to provide you with the necessary service, okay, to complete the work that you have listed out for them. Okay? And then we will move into the contract administration stage. So I think these are something that I think we all have done before, okay? Most of us have done this before, just that you may not be able to put it in a very, very, very specific terms in that sense. So these are actually what we call procurement management. Okay, then of course we have contract close out, and then hand over, proper closing out of contract and all that. So I think the main activities here is to plan for procurement. You need to plan for it, you need to set up procurement processes, and then you can manage the procurement processes, then manage the contract, which is in the contract administration, and then finalizing the contracts, and then finally delivery. Okay. I think that is the basic concept of procurement. Okay, this is the things that we do in procurement. I really, really like this framework. This is the framework that I use to talk to my students all the time. Okay. This is a very easy framework to understand. Okay, and so much easy that it's very systematic. Okay, so if we look at this framework, the first thing here is pre-award. Okay, so in this pre-award phase, what do we do? So Well, what you learn in scope management is very important here. You see, if you haven't got your scope correct, you know, your design, or your calculations, or whatever that you need to list out your product, so your scope, in terms of the product look, in terms of the product requirement, in terms of the components of the product, if you're building a bridge, 2 lanes, 3 lanes, where are the drawings, where are the calculations, is it going to be cable stay? It's going to be like, a box girdle, these are all have to be quite clear, so you have to get your requirement stage correct, see? Very, very, very much correct first. So that is part of scope management. And then, of course, you also will at this stage should know the scope of work, see? All the activities that needs to be carried out, for you to complete the project or for you to deliver the product. So the product description, the product drawings, anything to describe the product to make people understand what you want, is very, very important. Okay, this is like today I want to get myself a laptop or a handphone, so or get myself a TV or get myself a rice cooker, for example. I would need to actually know what kind of rice cooker I want. I would need to know what kind of handphone I want. I would need to know my handphone, what I prefer, as the person, as the client here, as a person who wants this thing. Okay, so your job as engineer is you have to find all these things properly. So in the requirement documents, okay, in the requirement documents, you need to be very clear. So of course, engineers, we like drawings, we like things with dimensions, we've got pictures, we've got samples, we've got testing material, testing report, we do specifications, these are all the things that we need to prepare, for our requirement cycles. Why? Because we need to get people to understand what are we acquiring here. Your contractor cannot come in and say that I want to acquire this. I'm helping you to acquire this. I'm going to help you to build this and let you acquire this. I don't know what you want, you see. The requirement cycle is a time that you really have to do this out properly. Okay, do this out properly. So we got this thing. We've already got our project being approved by certain people, like your major stakeholders, shareholders, is already stamped. We're going ahead with it. So, previously, whatever things that we went through in scope management, in terms of getting the robustness test, getting the feasibility studies, like all these in project life cycles and all that, you kind of gone through that stage and you know that, okay, this project is go ahead. So we got our product is going to be like this overall, and then it's going to have this component, that component, and then each component will have certain dimensions, certain look, certain colors, and what else are they? And then of course you've got your scope ready. Then after you've got your scope ready, you've gone through all your robustness tests. Yes, this is exactly what we want. This is the options that we want. And then yes, finally we work out on the WBS. What is the WBS? That WBS is your activities, all your work activities, okay? And then into your different layers, into your different details of your work activities. And then we also will get you to do some time planning, also get you to do cost. You see, we went through cost, different levels of costing work will give you different details, because then it will form the budget for the project, and then your project is approved, approved as in terms of the budget, in terms of the timeline, in terms of the look, in terms of the product, in terms of the quality, in terms of the activities, you see. So your requirement cycle has to actually have all this. See? So you have to get ready all these documentations, maybe, or what you need to project your for you to initiate your contract planning. Okay. So once you've got that, your requisition will be initiated. So it's like, okay, I've got this all these documents are ready. So a lot of consultants, this is time that you prepare all the tender documents, with all your drawings, pages and pages of it, and then your specifications, your specific regulations and rules that you want the sellers to follow, certain materials, specifications as well. It's all there. Okay, so it's ready. I mean, of course, there are situations, and it's not like we don't know. There are situations whereby sellers, the people acquiring, the client, the stakeholders, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. I mean, it is very common. Okay, so then if it is in the urgent project, then you may initiate requisition first, you see, and then get your seller or get your contractors to propose. That one is another form of contracting. Okay, so well, it depends on what you have and what you don't have, for us to decide how to initiate this requisition cycle. Okay, but let's talk about it in the normal circumstances whereby your documents are ready, you know what you want, and as a client, I know I have a picture, I have people that I'm consulting with, they've already done the drawings, they've already done the plans, they've already got to give me the dimension, they've already put in some colors, the architects will put in some colors, and maybe interior designer will also come in and put in some furniture, some drawings, some 3D drawings. I'm pretty good, I know what I want, and of course, in manufacturing, you probably know this is, at this part of the operation, I will need you to do this. I mean, this machine will need to do this, and then it comes out with this, and then this will go to that particular line. So you've got a good picture. Then project approved, we are going to put money in here. We are going to go ahead with our requisitions, So requisition is initiated. So when requisition is initiated, we are not jumping and go and say, hey, who wants to come and do the job for me? You're not going to go out and start to buy, start to purchase, So inside that handphone computer idea, so you know what you want, you see. So then you say, yes, I'm getting it, I'm going to go and get it now. Okay, but of course you don't jump in the car and drive out to, CD1 or to somewhere, to the shopping mall and start to buy a computer or start to buy a car or whatever. So we don't go that far yet. Don't go that far yet. So we pull back a little bit first. Okay. So then we say, okay, yes, I'm buying it. I've got the budget. I've got the money. I know what I want. This is the requirement. You've got your list. You've got your shopping list. Okay. So it's like before you go to do your Sunday marketing in the market, you've got your marketing list. Okay. So this list is ready. So you say, I'm going. Okay. So before you go, you need to check a few things. Okay. So the thing that you need to check, this is in the requisition cycle. Number one, you need to plan your contracting. Okay. So what do you mean? So, you need to know, is my card ready? Is my credit card ready? Is my online transfer ready? Is my, am I ready to sign a contract? Have I got my IC? In some purchase, you need to bring your IC. Some people, you need to bring your passport, So we've got to get these things ready. We've got to get our requisition ready. Okay. So you need to plan for it. So the first thing in requisition that you need to plan for is your strategy. So if I'm going to go out there to purchase, what kind of mode of payment am I going to do? What kind of method am I going to use to buy this? You see, am I going to go online shop? Am I going to go to shopping mall to buy? There's many ways of procurement. You see, so procurement strategies is one of the most important planning contracting cycle. Plan on how to contract later. And this is like the biggest umbrella, that covers many things underneath there. Because if this umbrella will have different things hanging down there, that will actually the direction of the entire delivery of the project later, including the realization, including the contract administration, including the contract, including the award, including the tendering, including the request. for proposal or for bids. It will be determining. It is like the tone, the pace, the everything that you're going to be doing. It will be based on understanding or selecting the procurement strategy. So the first thing that you are going to select here under the requisition cycle for engineering project, you're going to be selecting the procurement strategies. So procurement strategies, there are some very traditional methods, which we all are very familiar with, like traditional general contracting. Okay. Pretty much we know that. Okay. I mean, like, who doesn't know? Can you raise up your hands? So this is the type of strategies that the client will actually just hire a designer, correct enough, and then do all the design, and then prepare the documents, and then send it up to the potential builders, contractors, service provider to actually tender for the job or to give you some quotation. So this is what we call traditional general contracting. Very, very common. It's been around for, like, I don't know how many centuries. It's been a very common method. It has delivered billions, I don't know, trillions of projects all around the world. Very common. Okay, so it's like that responsibility route is client, everybody, all the stakeholders are very clear. The line of command is also very clear. Client, I engage you as a designer. You are my consultant. I have a contract with you. I sign a contract with you. And you're supposed to provide me with this service. Okay? I'm signing a contract with you as a contractor. You will be my builder. You will be my service provider. You will be my supplier. And this is the duties, this is the requirement that I have from you. And you need to do this, and I need to do this for you as the client. It's like a two separate contract going on. One with the service provider, one with the builders, one with the contract, and one separately with the designers. So this type of this type of procurement strategy has very, very clear line of responsibilities. And normally you will match it with you will always end up with very, very good costing, because basically, you're getting people to compete with one another, and then they will provide you with very, very good pricing. So these are some of the advantage of this type of method. And there's a very, very clear line of responsibilities, who is in charge of what. And if consultants are engaged in the project for supervision level, then it's going to be clearly written down for supervision, and then they are going to be the client's representative, or the government's representative, or whatever kind of work and all that, or the RE, the superintending officers, or the superintendent's officers representative. So this will have a mark, an impact on the type of contract that you choose later. And then it will also have a mark on the tender mode that you will choose later. This method usually will require a lot of the design to be all ready. Most of the design will be all ready, and very, very limited contractors input at the early design stage. It will be very time consuming, because you need to get everything ready first. That will be probably 6 months and above, for most projects, and sometimes can go up to a few years or 1 or 2 years, just plan it out and then get on to the invitation for bidding and tender stage. So these are very common, like I said, one of the most common methods. And then when things start to progress, society starts to progress, and people think that, sometimes some of this method, this traditional general contracting method can have this disadvantage, because it does put people on very adversarial relationship, meaning that I'm a client, you are the contractor, I've got my consultant coming here to look after my project, so you've got to answer to him, you've got to answer to my representative, so, well, somehow it has created a very sort of like an adversarial relationship, and then it doesn't work in a lot of sense, and a lot of dispute will come up because of that. It does require a lot of documentations, a lot of record keepings and all that. So depending on the type of contract that you choose later, so you have different type of documentations to work with, when you have traditional general contracting. So then when things revolve, people start to think that, contractors' input is very important. A lot of times dispute comes in traditional general contracting is because contractors says that this cannot be done. Your design cannot be done. I cannot do this. Look at the ground condition, at the, the condition, the unforeseen conditions. So, you didn't get our input, and now we're telling you that we cannot do this, we need to change the design. And then when we change the design, there's going to be time consumed, just to get the VOs, get change order up, and there will be a lot of issues with extension of time, with extra costs and all that. So then people start to think that, hey, why not we just get the contractor to come in, or the service provider, or the the supplier to come in and tell us, like what can be done, what cannot be done first, So that's where you get your design and build. You see, so design and build is another very common nowadays. This design and build is not traditional. I mean, it's not modern anymore. It's actually under traditional mode. So traditional design and build mode is very, very old already as well. So it's like a contractor as a single point of reference. So you're inputting your design, and even better, get the contractor to actually design it for you. So then it's the whole responsibilities of design and build will be falling under one consortium or one group of people, and the designer or consultant will actually work under the contractor in a lot of these circumstances. And or you can you just bring in a contractor first and then get them to design and build along the way. So this is design and build. So that actually ensure faster delivery. It actually streamline communication. It puts a single point of responsibilities. You can exert control. The contractor has a little bit more control over what can be done and what cannot be done. And of course, that sort of like transfer the client's control onto the design over to the contractor, and that in a way sometimes can be a bit dangerous, because you don't want a contractor to come up with something really, really exorbitant, and you feel like like they're doing everything. Am I, who is going to watch for me? Who is going to look after the project for me? I mean, like everything is part under contractor. So some clients, they feel like they are a bit uncomfortable with that. It's like, they are having a lot of control over what to do, so what can we do? So if your client's office don't have enough of resources, you don't have enough of manpower to actually look after the project, so or to be played part also in the design, or to have very, very deeply involvement in the design, you don't have that kind of expertise or in your organization, then it can be a problem as well. Okay. And the other words that we've heard of is turnkey. Turnkey is, like I said, very, very, very similar with design and build. And in fact, in Malaysia, we use them interchangeably, but actually there's a little bit of difference. Okay. So turnkey, in fact, okay, it's not only design and build. Turnkey contractor can even be involved in early land purchases, in terms of negotiation with other authorities. It can start, actually comes as early as planning, okay, and submission of plans, and and then also including getting the financing, and then all the way even down to the facilities going to be in operation. So it's like turn the key. So in this case, you have even more less client involvement. So everything is under the turnkey contractor. So there's going to be a very, very high reliance on the contractor's expertise, on the contractor's integrity. It actually just completely reduces the client's control over the project. It's just like JKR, if you have a turnkey contractor, your job is basically just to be there to look after, like to do some supervision, to do a bit of paperwork, everything else is like you don't really think about it anymore, kind of thing. So is that contractor that is going to be like go all the way to land negotiation, to do all sorts of things, pre and post construction, pre and post design as well. So the range, the level, the spectrum of turnkey is a lot wider, a lot broader than just design and build. Okay, so you get these two understand that way, and yeah. So both of these methods are actually not what we call modern. These three methods are not really what we call the modern methods. They are actually very, very traditional to me already. Okay. Then we also have some things that are a little bit more new in that way, okay, but also slowly becoming not so modern, okay, like concessional contract. Concessional contracts, I think, those that is like something like build, own, operate, transfer, PPP, uh, private concessional models, public-private partnership framework. These are quite common, whereby public sectors will design, build, finance, operate, maintain the projects over a specific period of time, while they have certain arrangements of getting payments from the operation as such, or some form of exchange with the public sectors to actually do the work. So it actually takes a lot of burden of the public sectors. Okay, so it's pretty much efficiently driven by the private sectors. Okay, and so concessional contract, build, own, operate, transfer. There's many types of build, own, operate, transfer. I mean, concessional contracts besides just BOT. There's build BOT is build, operate, transfer. Build, own, operate, transfer. And then build, design, build. Sorry, design, build. PPP is more on design, build, finance, operate, and then transfer later. So all these are more that kind of strategy. I mean, like, I suppose this kind of strategy, you can say that mainly is to mainly because public sector no money lah, to put it bluntly like that lah, So then you will need the private sectors to come in and in a way finance the design, finance the infrastructure project. Usually these are for infrastructure projects lah, and there is going to be a lot. You need to get the facilities out to the public as soon as possible, but you don't have the money to do that. So therefore, you will need to let the private sectors come in, private organization comes in to drive the project, and then to get it done. And then, but in exchange, nobody's going to do charitable work for you for free, kind of thing. So they will have to charge something, but it may not be charged in terms of dollars and cents, but it can be charged in terms of a lot of exchanges in certain things, like future operation rights, maybe in exchange of other facilities, other land usage, and other stuff. Okay, so that is what we call concessional, and like what we say under concessional contract, PPP, public-private finance, public-private financing. These are all very common methods that build, own, operate, transfer. These are all very common methods that you will see in concessional contract law. Yeah, some people call it concessional contract, but I mean, some people put the BOOT, BOT, DBOT, those sort of contract under concessional strategies, and then the PPP, they will say other things about PPP. PFI, PFI, private financing initiatives. So these are all similar. Okay. Like I said, the model is similar, but it's just the way that a certain group of people categorize it a little bit differently. Some people put everything under concessional. Some people say concessional is those words that are like build, own, operate, transfer, build, transfer, build, design, transfer. So that one is concessional, and then the PPP and PFI is another story. Okay, and we also have some newer procurement methods. Okay, newer procurement method like partnering. Okay, so partnering is a very collaborative method. Partnering can be very formal. Like if you do have a very formal partnering, then it will be more or less what we call joint venture. Another word that is quite common is joint venture for partnering. Partnering can also be long-term partnering. It can also be project by project basis. Okay, but the hang on with it is, you may not have a contractual arrangement in that sense, a very specific contractual arrangement. If it's a strategic long-term kind of partnering, meaning that you've got good relationship with certain suppliers, you've got good relationship with certain subcontractors. No matter what, most project you will go in together. So, but you don't really sign contract with one another in that sense. But there are certain type of partnering that you will need to sign contract with, like I said, joint venture. Okay. Alliancing is usually we use the word alliancing is whereby everybody would work together. Like is there will be a formal agreement, like between the client, designers, and contractors. They are going to be together, involved in joint problem sharing, high level of collaboration, and they're going to deliver the project together. So it's quite like a partnership. It's like an equal partnership sort of thing. So what that they use interchangeably between partnering, alliancing, strategic alliancing, and then joint ventures. These are all like more or less certain categories. It's under that certain categories whereby clients, all the stakeholders come together to form some form of long-term partnership or partnering that without having to do any formal agreement, or they can form a very short-term partnership in terms of joint venture. Then you have a formal agreement, or you can have alliancing or very strategic kind of alliancing over certain project to work together to deliver the project. The difference between this sort of model with the traditional model is about risk sharing. Okay, so this modern way of partnering, alliancing, different names for this sort of partnering, alliancing, strategic alliancing, whatever you call it, it's just a matter of long term, short term, and then got contract, no contract, that kind of thing. And then who is responsible for what, who is going to be doing what, and then how we're going to share our risk, how we're going to share our profits, and these are on a certain level trying to get rid and move away from more adversarial relationship that can be seen in traditional models, whereby if you imagine this in traditional models, the client is the boss. You see, like, I'm the boss, I'm the leader here, I'm the one that started the project, I want you to do this, this, this. So it's like you are already putting the other party under you in that sense, or it's like you're putting another party on the opposite end of the table, negotiating with you, like behaving like you are opponents in that way. It's a very natural relationship that is created because of the model. Okay, so it's not like we purposely want to say, okay, I'm going to have a adversarial relationship with you. Okay, it's not like that, but it's just a very natural, organic growth of adversarial relationship, whereby partnering and alliancing and more of these modern kind of tools will actually move away from that, because you are actually putting people on par with you. We are partners, we are going at this together. There is a lot of more collaborative effort. What can you do? What can I do? What can we all bring onto the table? Okay, so that in a way will reduce disputes, I hope, and then improve efficiency. And it does ensure better alignment of all the stakeholders' interests. Okay, and this is particularly important, especially for complex, large-scale, or especially project that is dealing with new technology, something new, something innovative. It's a solution that nobody have tried before. So you can see a lot of management of a lot of different companies like Apple, like Tesla, like Elon Musk, and all these new age modern management styles. They form that kind of relationship, not only with their staff, not only with their partners, like their consultant or the contractors or the service provider, who is actually outside of the company. They also do that with their own people. they're focused on enabling, they're focused on trying to get people to work together, they're trying to make staff come together. There's no such thing as the upper management, this is the middle management, everybody just come in, sit on a table, have a meeting, we're all on the same table, and we are happy to just share ideas, so that kind of management is very new age. It's a very new thing, so there's no such thing as I'm scared of the boss. I need to clock in and clock out. I need to think twice before I talk. I need to know my place in the organization. So it does kind of like enable people. So I think when you are dealing with very intelligent people, like engineers, people with good technical skills, you don't need traditional kind of management. You don't need to motivate people. You don't need to motivate your contractors. You don't need to motivate your suppliers by having a lot of rules and regulations, by having a lot of threats and uh, uh um or like harsh manner of doing things. I mean, like when in the old days when some people are uneducated, maybe you need to put fear, you need to push people in certain ways. But like I said, as we move into engineering, we're getting more and more modern, we're getting more and more um how can I put it? We are getting a bit more self-motivating, self-initiatives, So with modern strategies like partnering, alliancing, I think it is a bit more putting people on the same table, on the same ground, and then we talk and respect one another. We try to push each other on. We try to let other people be creative. And there's a lot of solutions that comes out because of creativity. Hey, why not we do it like this? It can be over a cup of coffee and say, hey, like this problem, hey, you got any idea? Oh yeah, I thought about it last night. Why don't we do it like this? Some great idea may just come out like that. So when you're dealing with very intelligent people, when you're dealing with very good people, who has not, I mean, like, hopefully there's no integrity issues here, but if not, then actually you will see things move a lot better with these modern management tools, whether you're managing a project or whether you're managing a team of people or whether you're managing your staff or your own organization. So it cannot be limiting anymore. It cannot be controlling anymore. It cannot be just like breathing down your back anymore. Like with traditional method, it's a little bit like breathing down your back. Everything, we need to write letters, we need to write memos, we need to make sure that with enough site meetings, who is going to be preparing site meetings, we need to have decision making right then and there, and if you don't do it, we'll punish you. There's EOT, there's LA, I mean, there's LAD, there's claim damage, there's dispute resolution, we use payment, to scare people into doing things, you see. So I think this procurement strategy is like moving away from that. Okay. And I don't know, I mean, like some places will be a bit slower. Usually if you work for private organization, that would be a bit faster. And whereby, if you're working with government agency, I'm pretty sure you will tell me that, oh, we're still so far away from that. We still need to execute certain level of fist and red tape and bureaucracy to control things, and control our contractors, control our suppliers. We still need to use carrot and stick. We still need to use punishment. You see, so yeah, I mean that's fine, but what we're telling you is, it may be worthwhile to try other things as well. Okay, and of course we also have like I said, there's this really traditional one like traditional general contracting, design and build, okay, turnkey. We also have partnering and alliancing as more modern tools, and we also have another group of what we call, concessionals contract with PPP and PFI and all that. That one I wouldn't say is good or bad. It's just a matter of needs, when your public sectors don't have enough money, you don't have enough of efficiency, then you need your private sector to come in and help you. Then we work together on that. Okay, so we also have other method that I think you will hear of is, I can think of a few. That's IPD, integrated project delivery. This is a little bit like partnering. I mean, like, I don't see much difference. This is probably a new way of calling it, but you're actually signing a shared contract. You're sharing a contract between all your designers, suppliers, everybody. Like with partnering, with alliancing, sorry, is more on the client, designer, contractors, but this one is all parties. So the stakeholders involved is a little bit more. So it's called the integrated project delivery method model. Okay, and this is really a very, very modern kind of method. So there's going to be a lot of high collaboration, shared risk, shared rewards. And yeah, so you share a single contract, you work together in a single contract, you talk about all whatever capability that you have and what you can do, what you can bring onto the table, and what kind of incentives, what kind of model that you be what sort of rewards that you want at the end of the day. So it's all listed down there. So this is one collaborative model. And joint venture is like a partnering or alliancing that has formal contract. Okay, formal contract, but joint venture usually would be involving in the delivery, people who are delivering the project, like maybe the designers and the contractors. Okay, whereas alliancing is more on everybody together, and IPD is even more people together. So it's like a level of involvement here of a different group of people. We also got like things like EPC, engineering, procurement, construction. I think people who work with SEV hear a lot of this. So it's a similar with DNB, but it's usually more for like what we call infrastructure project. That's why you hear a lot of EPC in EV, solar energy, because dealing with infrastructure like hydropower plant, dealing with energy, electricity supply, solar infrastructure project. Okay, so the contractor is responsible. It's a little bit like turnkey. Okay, turnkey DNB. So the contractor is responsible for all the engineering, procurement of material, construction, and delivery of the project into this ready state of use. So this is EPC. Okay. So I think these are some of the contract that that has been floated. I mean, not contract, procurement strategies that has been floating around a lot. Okay, in different places. I mean, in different organizations. And some of this is being adopted by the government as well, and they want to adopt this as well. And then trying, some people are trying, but depending on the type of engineering, some maybe, like I say, we're into infrastructure, maybe you hear a little bit more. Okay, and I think different country also sometimes they name it differently as well. But the idea is with procurement strategies, the main thing that I want you to remember, what I'm covering with you here is just different types of procurement methods. Okay, every procurement methods have delivered projects. So you cannot say what is better, what is the best model. No, there's no such thing. There's only what is suitable for your project. Okay, so that is why you need to understand your requirement cycle. Okay, without that, you literally cannot, you actually cannot move into your requisition cycles, because picking the right procurement strategy is essential. It's based on your requirement. Okay, if you have your design ready, if you want to solicit the best price, if you have people to look after the project, if you don't have people to look after the project, if you believe in talking, if you believe in collaboration, if you believe in risk sharing, it depends on the organization culture, organization model, it depends on the mission, it depends on the type of organization that you're working with, it depends on the project, the nature of the project. and the resources and the constraints that you have before you can decide what kind of procurement strategies. And unfortunately, many organizations, I would say government sectors, will just typically use TGC, typically use design and build, and typically use turnkey. That's all. Okay. So I mean, I'm not saying that that is wrong, because it works. You know, it works for the nature of the project. You don't have to try new things if you don't have to. Okay. I mean, like, you don't need to be modern just because you want to be. You just need to be modern. It has to be what is suited. You know, it's just like you go shopping and you want to buy yourself a new pair of shoes. You know, you don't have to buy what the latest model. You know, you still can buy the model that you wear like 20 years ago, the same model, but an improved model. Okay, and you know, you're still comfortable wearing that because that is your requirement. That is all you need, you see. I mean, like, you don't have to use Apple like 14, 15, or 16. You know, I'm happy with my good old, you know, Honor phone. You know, that's fine. Yeah, so requirement cycle, anything with requisition, what I'm trying to say here is requisition matters a lot because it sets the pace, it sets the tone, it sets what's going to happen in the future. It sets the future, but how people are going to manage project management. If we don't set the requisition correctly, the whole later on management of the project, especially during the realization, the construction stage, will be a lot more difficult. Okay, and to set that requisition cycle, you need to understand your requirement. Okay, and that is that transition here. That is that flow here. Understand the requirement cycle, get yourself the right procurement strategies, and then from there we move on to the solicitation, award, and the contractual cycle. So then the tone, the pace, the whole framework is set up. Okay, so and what else are we covering here? Okay, so to set up that procurement strategies, you need to understand your project objective. Okay, these are the few things that you need to think about. Okay, besides the scope of work, besides the scope, you need to understand, like I said, the culture of your organization. If you're working for Google, if you're working for, you know, Elon Musk, it's a different thing, you see, compared to if you're working for JKR, you know, Malaysia government. So what is the culture is the organization culture, is the organization needs, you know, is the way that it's being run, you know, and the objective, you know, of your culture, the objective of the project, the mission and vision of the organization that you're working with. And of course, then your project environment. Your project environment is the same pictures that we're talking about the other day. You know, look at your project environment. Who is your stakeholders? Who is the authorities involved here? What are the environment? What are the topography, geographical locations? You know, all sorts of project environment. The one that you drew the other day for scope management, this is the same thing. Look at that. Go back and look at that before you think about your procurement strategy. So there will be something that is more suited for that particular environment. So you need to analyze that. Okay, analyze. Go back. You should have already done this. You see, before you even come to this stage. So what is the background? You know, what is the project serve all about? You know, what is the second layer? What are the direct layer? What are the factors? You know, what is your organization, company capacities, culture, and relationship, functional relationship with one another? You know, and what is the authority? You know, the localized factors, and then what are the more globalized factors? What are more national kind of factors? So all these factors will actually look into what kind of procurement strategies will be more suited for your project, for your organization. In-house capacities, what are your resources? What is your resources in terms of finance, technology, materials, you know, and your technical capacities, your talent in your company. Yeah? Then you can decide what type of people that you can bring on board. What kind of people are you managing here? You know, who are you managing here? Who are you talking to here? Which region do you belong to? If you belong to South Central region, it's very different from if you belong to the Northern region or the Southern region. These are localized factors, organization factors, the project itself, the nature of the project itself, and the organization culture and all that, it makes a lot of difference. Okay. And what else we'll be looking at when we're looking at so requirements, requirements of the project. That one I think we've gone through that. That one is the requirement cycle, you know, and your project definition. And then constraint. You have money constraint, you've got resources constraints or not. And that is so important. If you don't have money, what can you do? PFI, PPP, you know, concessional, end of the story. Don't need to talk about other things. Is it? What is time a constraint here? You have time to do design still. What is your resources constraint? You have money constraint, capital constraint, you've got technical constraints, you've got technological constraint. Maybe you've got a wonderful idea, but you've got technological constraint, you don't have the expertise. So you need to do partnering with people who have that technology, with people who can do that. Or you are a tech company, you know, we are a tech company. We have designed, you know, some interesting gadgets, digital something, you know, and then but we don't have project to apply to. You see, so we don't have portfolios, we don't have money, we cannot go and tender for a project. But we can provide you with all these good things, you know, that can make the project better, that can give people more value for money. Product. But I don't have that history. I don't have that experience with construction or with manufacturing. So I need to work with people. So then you go for, you know, company who can work with you, partner with you, or alliance with you, or, you know, do partnership with you, or do joint venture with you, or do, you know, IPD with you. You know, so that is the kind of model that you may be suited for. You see, so main thing is you need to understand what kind of resources you have, what kind of constraints you have, what is the project requirement, what is the project itself, the scope of works, okay, the requirement, you know, what kind of organization are you dealing with, what kind of local factors are you dealing with, what kind of global factors, what kind of national factors are you dealing with. So this will all mix up together, you know, for you to determine, you know, to determine the approach that you will be using for your procurement. Okay, so procurement strategy, what we've gone through just now, will set the tone. Okay, it will set the tone for the project, for the procurement of the project. Okay, so are we clear on this? Okay, are we clear on this? Okay, so I mean, if you know, you understand where we are going, okay, then you'll be moving into planning for your contracting. So what is planning for your contracting? You need to, you know, once you've got your procurement strategies ready, you pick the procurement strategies, then you need to pick a contracting strategy. So what is the contracting strategies? Contracting strategy is like the mode of payment. So are you going to use lump sum contract? Are you going to use, you know, BQ contract, you know, which means measurement or remeasurement contract? Can you use GMP, guarantee maximum price contract? Can you use cost plus contract? You see? So once you've got that stabilized, you know, you've already picked, okay, then you will need to pick the things in the solicitation cycle. So now you've got your contract ready, okay, you know what contract you're going to use, then you're going to pick the procurement strategies plus the contracting strategies. Okay, so this is like the two group of things that you need to pick. Okay, so after you pick, you understand all your constraints, everything all done already, then you need to pick the right, not right, suitable contracting strategies, procurement strategies. Okay, so we then move into request. You're going to look for people to build for you, and that will be the solicitation cycle. Okay, so in the solicitation cycle, okay, so in the solicitation cycle, you are actually going to request for people to come and bid for the project. Okay, so you're going out there now. You are jumping into your car. You're going to a shop to buy your handphone now. Okay, so this is the part of solicitation. You're going out there. So you're going to out there to get the contractor. You're going to go out there to get your service provider. You're going to go out there to get your supplier. So you've already set the mode of payment. You already know what styles, what mode of purchase that you're going to go for. You know, and then you already go what kind of mode of payment that you're going to go for. You know, that is in contracting, and then you are putting in your that solicitation cycles, whereby the two most important thing here is what kind of solicitation mode that you're going to go for. What kind of tendering are you going to go for? Request for quotations. It's going to be simple request for quotations and then go for a negotiation, or are you going to go for tender? Tender, there is open tender, closed tender, selective tendering, pre-qualification tendering. So I think a lot of us do know, do heard of this before, or do have come into contact with this before. Some of you don't, some of you have. Okay, and then you know, from solicitation, the other most important thing is to pick the contractors, or pick the service providers, or pick the suppliers of the machines, the suppliers of the material, and all that. So when you're doing that, the most important thing here is the criteria of selection. How are you going to select the right people to do the job for you? So you need to have your criteria, you know, whether you're going to base it on financial capacity, technical capacities, technological capacities, whether you're going to base it on management capacities, whether you're going to base it on experience, whether you're going to base it on price. Okay, very important. A lot of people will say, I want to go for the cheapest. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. So, but some people may not. You know, some organizations may not. Some organizations, they may look at what is being offered. You know, so then proposal method will be a lot better. So you get all your contractors or your developers or whatever to propose ideas, you know, and propose their thoughts and creativity, and bring it to you, and then do presentation, and then talk about money, talk about cost, talk about their creativity and consideration and what they are bringing onto the table and all that. So is also one mode of solicitation. So again, two things here: the mode of solicitation and the mode of evaluation. So in terms of solicitation cycle, these two things you need to sort out. You see, and once you've got it all sorted out, of course, we are pacing it out. You know, we've already set up our rubrics or tables or calculation tables or what you call it, you know, to select your contractors. And then some of us may do interviews, post tender meeting, you can do discussion, you can do negotiation, not only on the price, you can negotiate for better value. Can you also, with this price, add in this? Can you also provide more a more specific capable management team for my project? You know, would you be able to give me specific attention? You know, and then would you be able to do this and that? You know, like it's like negotiation add on. It's just like you buy a handphone. You know, you go and I buy myself a handphone. Can you give me an extra sticker, or you can give me an extra phone case, or would you give me an extra cable, or give me extra Bluetooth? Is it a full set plus another 3 years warranty and all that kind of thing? You know, so it's plus another 2 years warranty. You know, so we negotiate. It's pretty much, you know, what will happen anyway. So that is to confirm. So once you confirm, you have gone into your award cycle. Okay, so you're awarding first with a letter of award. Okay, dear so and so, dear consortium so and so, dear Mr. So and so. You know, we have, you know, decided with great pleasure, we decided to award you with the project. And this is the letter of award, you know, pending for the signing of the agreement on XYY date, you know, on 2025, you know. Please come to the office or whatever, on what time, what day, you know, all they can do, you know, before that, of course, we need to all sort out anything, you know, like price rationalization, you know, rate rationalization, you add in a lot of extra things or value or whatever. We all negotiate, all done. Okay, so then you award. A letter of award comes out, and then we move into the contractual cycle. The moment you award already, the contractor sign, you sign, go for stamping, the award is there, the date is there, then we start to move into the actual realization of it. So you can see that procurement set the tone. Set the tone. I always say it sets the tone. It sets the pace, it sets the color, or it sets the palette, the whole palette of the project. It's too late to manage a project when you are already in construction. When you are dealing with dispute, when you are dealing with claims, you are already too late because it happens already. So when you need to set up the color, all the colors needs to be there. Because when you come to construction, people are just painting according to what you've given them. Okay, so in the beginning, if you set the right tone, the right management way of doing things, the right flow, okay, the right framework, okay, suitable. Let's not use the word right, the suitable framework, okay, suitable framework, and people can work accordingly. They know their roles, they know their responsibilities, they know they will be paid accordingly. They know that the contract is being administered. They know they're being selected very carefully. These are the right people to do the job. Then contract are being followed accordingly, administered accordingly. Why should there be big problems? There shouldn't be a lot of big issues because everything is suitable. When things are suitable, it will flow better. It's not without problems. Definitely there will be problems. I mean, there's no construction site or no project, no engineering that is without problem. If there's no problem, why you need engineer? Engineer is here to solve problems. Okay? Why you need project manager? Project manager is here to solve problems. Okay? But of course, there's easier way of solving problems, there's smoother way of solving problems, there's also harder way of solving problems. So it's just a matter of how do you want to do this, you see? So procurement strategy, why I say it's important, set the palette, set the tone. How? Why keep Dr. Ting on saying set the palette, set the tone? Because the colors are there, the papers are there, the paintbrush are there. What does it mean? Because it means that the relationship is already set up. You've already put people at all the right place. You've already put A here, B here, C here, and things are all there. So when you set the procurement strategy, you are setting up that relationship. Who is to report to who? Who is to work with who? Who is parallel with who? Who is on the same level as who? Who is above who? It's all there. Okay, who needs to answer to who? I'm the client, you are the contractor. What do you need to do for me? What do I need to do for you? It's there already. Okay, in procurement, once you set the procurement strategies, it's there already. What is there to talk about? You see, the rest is also just execution. When you set the contracting strategy, that is the mode of payment already. When you send in, you need to send in your claims. How much you can claim, how you can claim, what can you be paid, what you cannot be paid. It's all there. So getting it selected initially is very important. So selecting planning for contracting means selection of procurement strategy, selection of contracting strategy, selection of solicitation strategies. These are all the initial stage, pre-award stage. Okay, and you set that up first, set that relationship up first. If you set up a relationship that is already inherently is already in the DNA, is adversarial, how can you expect adversarial not to happen? If you set up a relationship that is on par, but of course that means lesser control, or the way that you may not have enough of say in certain things, it's already there, it's already set up there. In that picture of that DNA here is already there. So then you need to manage accordingly. Okay? And everybody understand that relationship. Because there are contracts here that we're talking about. but there are rules and regulations that is pertaining to that particular contracting style. Okay, and it's all clearly mapped out. So setting up procurement strategies is setting up a strategic approach for the relationship of people. Okay, so requisition cycles. So these are, these are all different types we've gone through just now. Okay, and good and bad, and yeah, the good and bad of a different type of mode, and all that. Yeah. So I think that is the overview. That is overall what we are doing with procurement. Okay, this is how we carry out procurement for the project. In terms of contracting method, the detail of what is in contracting, like what kind of contract and all that, and also tender. There's two different set of notes that I prepared for you, and also two different sets of recording that I prepared for you. So this will be all part and parcel of the recording that I will post out tomorrow for you all, okay, to listen back, and go through again, okay. And yeah, so I think that's all for the overview overall. So I've covered procurement strategies in detail, and then there will be coming up contracting strategies in more detail in terms of advantages, disadvantages, and all that, and then tendering model, tenders, and then tender evaluation and all that. These are the type of these two sets. The other two sets is probably about 100 to 80 to 100 minutes or so. That one is for you to go into detail. Okay. So this part today here, we are talking more on the strategies, the procurement strategies, and also the overall picture of procurement management. Okay. So with that is a better understanding of procurement management, and procurement management, like I say, especially in terms of contracts. Contractual cycle is also part of procurement. Don't forget about that. Okay. So don't say that contract administration is different. It's part of it. It's part of procurement. So procurement sets the contract, sets the strategies. Then you will bring in the contract, and the contract will be managed accordingly. The contract is like the left-hand man of construction. So it's a together. They are like the left, right hand, so they are moving together to get the realization of the project completed in that sense. So construction also cannot go without contract. So this is together. This to deliver the project. At the same left, right, left, right, left, right kind of thing, It's like a matching game that you got your construction work ongoing, you've got your service manufacturing ongoing, and then you've got the contract also ongoing. So they'll be managed accordingly. One is managing it more physically, one is managing it more contractually. So it's like together. Okay? So one cannot do without another. So a lot of things, when something happens in construction, in the real life, in the realization, you have to fall back onto the contractual part of things, and then there will need to be complementing each other, supplementing each other, supporting each other to get the work fully completed to the handover stage, and the client finally acquire the project. Okay. Any questions from you all? Okay. Yeah. So for you guys, the master group, you will be doing construction and contract administration next semester in February. So I think that one will be legislation, and that's why we don't have any classes in project management on contract management. So that will be in another subject called contract management, legislative issues and contract management. Yeah. So I'll be seeing you guys in some of you some of you are finished already, you've done it already. I think the new gang will be doing that next semester with me in February after Chinese New Year. So that one will be something that is coming up contract administration. So the contractual cycle, we will cover that a lot in contract administration. So basically that's it. We've basically finished project management in that way. Then we've got the properly coming back to do the integration and stakeholder management. Quality management is being taken out into quality classes. So there's a full subject on quality classes. So under project management, we won't do any quality management topic. Okay. But project quality, like I said, it is part of that quality management KNM 6033 class. So that one, you don't worry, it is there. Okay. And so we've covered scope management, we've covered engineering economics, we've covered part of scope management is engineering economics, determining the scope and the scope of work, and then we've got to do time, WBS, and then time, and then Gantt chart, and then from Gantt chart time, we move on to the cost, different type of costing methods, and different costing method, you've got the cost time already, we move into procurement, and from procurement, selection of procurement, into the realization of the project, how to deliver the project, and yeah, stakeholder management and also integration. So I think that covers project management for you guys, okay? For this topic, for this KNM 6063 class. Okay, so that is all from me. Okay, so anything you want me to cover here from previous classes, or anything that you are a bit unsure of? Can you hear me talk? I'm talking and talking. Did somebody actually leave any message or anything to me and I didn't see it? Or you guys are following?
Okay, now I can hear you. Hearing you, so it's okay.
You can't hear me? Are you
No,
sure?
I'm hearing you, so it's not like no response or what, but I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. Yeah, anything to share with us, people? Yeah. Or if not, then we'll move on to assignment. So I think who wants to show me the assignment? Anything on assignment you want me to talk about? Not assignment, not the project.
I have one simple calculation about this Sarawak Metro. Maybe maybe I can share it, and then Dr. Ting, you can have a look.
Okay. You can share screen, right? I've already unshared, so you share your screen.
See my screen?
A little bit small for me, but I can kind of see it. Yes. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So the life cycle cost, the LCC plan. These are the things that we get the estimated cost, and then we have a remark here. So all these costs actually come up to 2.8 billion ringgit.
You know what? This is not this is in summary, right?
Yeah.
Okay. LCC for you guys, okay, you see you have got maintenance, rolling stock, operation, control center, administrative costs, and all this. This is not, I don't want to say this, but this is not right. This is not what I'm expecting.
Okay.
What I'm expecting is when your project is completed, before when you're doing your estimators worksheet, the summary that you get at the end of the day is the capital expenditure. How much are you going to be spending on the construction or on the purchasing of the material and whatever project that you guys selected? What was your purchase? What is your cost? Okay, so that one, I don't think any one of you had any issues with that.
Okay.
Then LCC is about taking out the maintenance. So let's say you guys selected line A or red line or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
You need to tell me that over the next 20 years, what kind of maintenance cost will you be putting in there?
Mm.
Some of it is yearly, some of it is once every 2 years, some of it could be monthly.
Mm.
Okay. So what you need to do is you need to do a table that is 20 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 20 columns. Okay. So your 50, how many comma is it? That 50,000 to 50 million, okay, on M. That 50, how did you arrive at that 50?
This one
Yeah.
is estimated from the data that we have.
Yeah, so it's the data. So it's like
Uh,
you need to do like, okay, let's say for the for the ARP, is it a vehicle maintenance? What sort of vehicle maintenance are you doing there? Is it? So are you going to be like monthly? Of course, you've got fuel and all that. That one is operation cost. Okay, but
okay.
maintenance cost is more like, if it's broken, if you need to change the hydrogen tank or whatever it is, I don't really know what is AFC actually. Then let's say on the infrastructure bit of things, you have got different bus stops. I mean, like ARP stops, for example.
Mm.
The ARP stop will need to be painted maybe every year, or it has to be, like change the signage or improve on the signage, or there will be things that you need to do to it yearly.
Okay.
So what is that cost of needing to maintain it or to keep it in operation yearly?
Okay.
It's just that if I give you an example, you bought yourself an apartment,
Mm.
okay? There will be costs that you need to do. Operation, of course, is monthly, correct? Now you need to have electricity bills, water bills, some monthly stuff. And then
Mm.
you will have yearly stuff. Yearly stuff, for example, you may need to service your aircon every year. You may need to change your water filter every year. You see? So, or you may need people to come and clean your manhole every year. Huh? So that one is maintenance cost. And then then you will expect maybe every year you have like 10 light bulbs that will be broken. So you need to change light bulbs. Huh? You will have refrigerator that will be broken down, or you have some sort of like wiring that needs to be checked every 3 years, for example. So you need to plan. You need to plan for your maintenance. Just like people have, like let's say people like Law, you're working for water board. Maintenance is always under water board. So maybe every year and every month you may need to do grass cutting over the root of the pipeline. That one is monthly cost already. Okay.
Okay.
Then you've got to have like painting of your marker post and your manhole cover every year. Okay, so that is another cost. And then you will also expect some replacement cost because things may go missing and things may be broken, So that replacement cost maybe once every 5 years or once every 2 years.
So, Dr. Ting, what you mean is that in this, let's say in this thing, right, that we have summarized here, this is the one that we have to have detail about this operation cost, where it come from, how do we come to this figure of 50 million per year?
Yes.
Okay. And then only then we can get to the life cycle cost of particular, let's say we select a particular depot or we select the train, let's say. So we only focus on that one.
Well, for me, it's like yeah, your capital and your operation and maintenance and any upgrades, there will be a total annualized cost. So
This is the
that
one,
will
right?
be
The total analyzed cost is this.
correct, correct. So
Yeah.
then you
So
will
it,
see the cost, convert everything to total to the annualized cost.
hmm.
Mm.
So the framework is okay. It's just that we need to drill down into the details.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
For you to come to this, because
Okay.
otherwise I don't know if you actually know what you're doing,
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Yes. Because we do have an Excel sheet actually. I mean,
Excellent.
but we still need to do some adjustment. Like for example, here we actually have all this to put inside the Excel sheet where we have, but it seems like there's a bit off here, which I need to check out what happened here. So
Mm. Okay, so Then you have
Yeah.
about 6 million plus for the 20 years lah. So
Yes, yes.
then you will know the actual project cost, you see.
You can see the Excel sheet that I'm sharing now, right? Or
No, I can't see that. I'm still seeing the summary
okay,
table.
wait. Let me show you the Excel sheet. How do I share this? Second share.
You can open that.
Window. Something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something like this. But the thing is that you want it to be really detailed on how it comes to this figure, right? Especially when it comes to this maintenance thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You need to. I would expect every group to give me a 20-year column.
Okay.
Like for example, your civil works, under your civil works, what are the things that you're maintaining? And then some things may come every year, some things may not come every year, some things may come once every 10 years, you know? So you will have your work breakdown in one section, okay? May not be the exact work breakdown, like what you're doing, but it's more on things that you'll be maintaining, okay? Then over the other side is on your right-hand side, it will be 20 years.
Okay. Yep.
20
Okay.
columns.
Got it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, like but whatever you're doing there is more on the calculation worksheet, so I cannot see the detail.
Yeah. I will put in the details in the Excel sheet, so it's easy. So when we submit the assignment, we also need to submit the Excel sheet, right?
Yes.
With the details.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
You can even print it out in A3 even if you want to, and then forward into the worksheet. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Dr. Ting.
Forward into the report. If it's really, really long, I mean, like, then you can show some samples and then put everything in Excel if it's pages and pages of the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Yep.
Some people may do like 1 year, one piece of paper, so you got 20 papers. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, we will take note of that, and then we will amend this accordingly.
No problem on costing.
Thank you for the feedback, Dr. Ting.
No problem. My pleasure. So you guys are on a good track actually. Like now it's week 10, so you're on to it now. So I expect everything will be finished by the week 12 in another 2 weeks' time.
Think should be okay. Yeah.
Right. And so I saw you giving me I saw your work already, but I still haven't got the time to feedback to you yet on your.
I think it's okay because I understand it's year end. I'm also extremely busy here. I think you are too. And then especially when the holiday mood is coming, so I think probably it will be early January, I think.
Yeah, it's not only the holiday, it's so much of things happening in the office nowadays, you know. And yeah, so much of I don't know. Sometimes you think of it being an academic is so free, you know, like oh no class, you know, class to be free, but then you know there's so many ding dong stuff that needs to be submitted, you know, and then needs to be done, the report.
I think you are probably the same situation as me also.
Yeah, so a lot of small things, you know, that take time. I also try to get rid of all the final the RP students. I also got myself some final year students, some other course. I haven't even changed my actual research students, the ones who do masters by full by full research. Yeah. So something that I need to sort out. Now I see you, I better write it down that I need to give you some comments before I actually take my break. Yeah. And Fairul and Afrika, I haven't seen your work yet.
Ongoing,
Because
Dr.
you'll be
Ting.
happy or not happy.
Ongoing. I'll get it done by middle of the week.
You give me by middle of the week, also no use. I'll be away already on the 20th. So
okay. But it's ongoing already.
Yeah, just give it to me before as soon as possible. If I can comment, I comment. If I can't comment, then I'll be back 2028. So
Okay.
when you guys are having your exams and all that, I'll be around already. And when you're having but you guys, I'm not so worried because it's next semester. But even so, same next semester, I don't want you to be kalang kabut now, and then
Yeah,
later
understood.
on, yeah, RP1 is going to be very tough. The time is very short, and I know for people working like you guys, working in the industry for a long time, you guys are very, very, very terrible when it comes to doing literature review. And that is one of the things that RP1 is on to, that I just cannot get it right for a lot of people. I think Nolida experienced that, she, in the end, I had to stop her from doing one semester of RP. It's not because of you don't have the capacities or capability. It's just that because you guys are working for so long already out there, and sitting down there and start to do your literature review, reading so many papers and trying to make decent writing for your chapter 2, and then later on shift the information to chapter 1 and 3. It takes effort, it takes a lot of effort, and the time for RP2, for all the RPs for one semester actually is very, very weak. That it's very difficult. It's very short. Yeah, I mean, I know if you have the time, you can do a very good job. It's just that you don't have the time. Okay, so try to give it to me that I can comment before your exam, and then at least like Saul, Faru, Africa, you can work on it in January before February starts. When you register for February, then we are very sure your literature review is already 80, 60, 70, 80% done. Then we are very comfortable going to move you into doing your RP1. Otherwise, I may just tell you that you better don't take RP1. Okay? Otherwise, you do a bad job, kalang kabut like that, also no use. Okay, so yeah, and who else? Hey, Nolida, you have to show me your work. Maybe you can, by the end of this month, you have to at least show me your final draft on your RP1 already, huh?
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, okay. Because when you do RP2, I want you to be very, very sure about your data collection already. We cannot play the kalang kabut thing anymore, huh?
Okay.
So by 28, please submit your last draft of the methodology to me. Really, really clean up, and really, really what you can do and what the good way to collect data. Then
Okay,
you can
Doctor.
start collecting your data in January, and RP2 comes, your data is more or less like 30-40% complete already.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, so no more delay from you also, huh?
Okay.
Okay, and then Clarence, you want to the other day I know you email or message me. I haven't replied you yet. You want to show me something now?
I think, yeah, I can, sure.
Can Clarence group, huh? So Paul's group is done. Zhenjiang. You are the one that is giving me headache. He-Huan group and who else? He-Huan group is with who the other day? He-Huan and Lida is the same group, I remember. But actually, you guys were on okay. You're on a good track, and you guys were showing you did to me about the LCC as well. So I wasn't too worried about you guys. So yes, parents, what is your problem? Any issue? So you got all your
My problem is I don't know where is my problem.
you don't know what's your problem, so you're doing really well. You don't know where's the problem.
No, because I haven't received a comment from you after I sent you.
No, that's why I said you better show it to me today. I want shot better.
Maybe we go to the life cycle posting this out channel.
Have you done your estimated worksheet already?
You mean what do you mean?
Wait, is the Excel worksheet the estimated worksheet? Like how do you calculate your material, manpower.
Yeah,
and
already.
so it's all done already, is it?
Yeah, already. This is the, can you see my screen?
More.
This is the life cycle testing that we
Uh-huh. Okay. So how come the life cycle costing should be on another section of your report, right?
You mean in the Excel, correct?
Uh, no, in your report. This is your report. Am I right?
Yeah, this is my report.
So this is your project life cycle costing report, and you are doing. What is your operation and maintenance? What is your operation cost like?
This is the operation cost, 1,740. And then it start from this year, become 3,240. And then I did mention about where this amount come from. This is because for the first few years there, I expect there will be no repair for the pipeline. So only 1,500 for the repair for the
that's
costing.
so cheap. Your maintenance cost yearly is so cheap.
Yeah, because when you lay the new pipeline, the very beginning year, maybe say first 5 years, there will be less maintenance on the pipeline repair. So what you need to do is only you maintain on the electromagnetic flow meter. So basically it's about you pay the telco subscription, you maintain the flow meter based on maybe it's because of the battery or whatnot. That's a minor repair. So start from this year, I estimate, I expect there will be pipeline repair maybe. So I put 1,500, maybe 1 or 2 cases in a year.
Yeah, but what about material involved, like possible material involved? Like if you do
That will be because normally we outsource. Outsource means a contractor will go and prepare all the material, all the costing. So they will do the repair, including all the materials.
pay for it, lah.
Huh? Pardon?
Water board pays for it. You pay the people to do the repair work. You don't need to pay them, man.
Yeah, we need to pay them, but we pay them based on cases. We don't really have to buy the material, so
Yeah,
we
but
buy everything.
you pay them based on cases. So one case is only about 1,500.
One cases maybe only if let's say it depends on different sizes. For this case, it's 300 mm. So the cost is about few hundred, 600, 700 like that. Okay. So 2 cases, I expect 2 cases should be around 1,000, 1,500 like that.
Including material.
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah, correct.
I thought it's a pipeline, all these coupler, all these things are expensive, if it's leaked, so you need to cut it and, rejoin it and all that. Only few hundred ringgit, all the pipeline contractors for them.
Yeah. This is based on current cost. I think now the price when they go in the tender become cheaper and cheaper.
So per case, you're only paying them 1,000. I mean, like per case, only few hundred ringgit, including material. So
Including material, correct. Like
wow.
if small pipe is, let's say it's small pipe, the communication pipe, I think costs us around 100 plus or to 200 per cases.
Usually it's not Cebu price, everything so cheap in Cebu, is it?
Yeah, that's why don't come Cebu to work.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I estimate based on our current maintenance cost price.
But you just have to think about, your people also have to be there. You also have what we call a maintenance team of people. in water board, I believe, so there will be costs involved as well. So
That is the cost that I didn't anticipate.
you should, I think you should think about it a little bit more, huh? And see
Okay.
if think anything that you've missed out, huh? Don't just directly plug the thing off the bills, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. But the way that I do, is it correct or not? Maybe the
Yeah, it's fine because you are considering all these things, ma.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
just a figure whether how I come up with the estimate whether there are other factors that I need to consider also lah.
correct. And then you will have your annual you will have all your annual costs. Then that cost you have to convert to a total annualized cost, lah, huh?
Mm.
So the calculation bit also you have to get it right also, lah, huh? So you've got the yearly one, then you add it up, and after that you convert them to annualized total cost, and that's how you show your O&M, operation and maintenance cost. And like life cycle is basically, your capital cost plus your operation and maintenance costs, which include replacement costs as well. So then some costs, if you may end up, have like it's one off, but then you need to annualize them,
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So
Understand.
yeah, should be all right as long as your consideration of your annual maintenance and operation cost is correct, lah, huh? Otherwise, so cheap to maintain pipeline, man. A bit unbelievable.
Okay. I will consider on that.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
What about the others? Anything?
Dr.
What?
Ting,
Yeah, sorry.
Dr.
Yeah,
Ting.
mm.
Yeah, we have almost done already, finished off already, except for the LCC part. I think to me is still finalizing, so should be ready by next week lah. So then we'll share it with you lah. If you have time, then you help me you help us to go through it lah. If not, then we will wait until the last day lah for submission.
And you try to send it to me if you can by next week, and then
Yeah.
I'll try to get back to you ASAP, like via email, lor.
Yeah. We have done the 90% already lah, except the LCT part.
Yeah. I probably should be able to get back to you by 20 something lah. I mean I'll be back in Cal, so then I can go through it on my phone, if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. I'm actually now in overseas. So once she get it done, then I will have a look first. Then we will have our internal discussion. Then from then only after that then we can give you the draft.
And you just you just email me, okay? And then I will try to comment through email, okay?
Okay, Dr. Ting. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good holiday. Are you you're on holiday, is it?
Yeah. I'm on holiday.
Oh, okay. In China, is it?
In Hong Kong right now, but I'm going to China next week.
Okay. Right. Have a good time.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ting. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Jiang, can you email me your work? Okay, can you email me your work? You know what is email or not?
Oh，我发上去了。
你发给我可以吗？
哦，
呀，你发邮件给我，我的电邮的地址在这边 chat group 这边。
好，我马上发。
你发给我，你不要放进去E-Lib，你放进去E-Lib就代表说你已经做好了，你要我给分了。
哦，行，我知道了。
好的。 Anyone else? Aziru, just now you came, you didn't talk in her. Let me check.
Yes, doctor. I joined in late just now.
Okay. I know your name and Zulkifli's are not here. So anyone who wants me to comment on their work, please do so by emailing before 19, if you can. Then I can give you a response as soon as possible. If not, then I may have to wait until after Christmas or so to give you a response. And that will be very, very near to the end of the semester already. Okay. So if possible, please email me before the 20, before 19. If not, then I can only respond to you after, okay, after 19. I mean, after 20, after Christmas. Okay, done, Aziru. Okay.
Dr. Ting,
Yes?
can you hear me? Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
can.
one more question. Sorry. Any requirement on the number of pages? Because I noticed that my pages on the group assignment, I think only 8 or 9 pages.
No.
Oh,
Okay. Anything you submit, I will read.
okay, thank you.
No limitations. The only limitation is you write too little. You give me 10, 20 pages, I bang sang, okay?
Oh,
Because with report like this, you will easily go more than 30 plus 30, 40 pages easily, yeah.
oh.
No upper limit, huh?
Okay.
Right. If we are no more questions, then we will call it a day, okay? And you wait for the once I've posted the recording, I will let you know, okay? Like usual, I'll post it in group and you can go up there and listen to it anytime before the exam.
Okay,
Right.
doctor. Thank you.
Thank you. So very nice having you guys. So this will be the last class I have with you, or maybe even some of you, okay? I won't be teaching some of you anymore, I believe, except for maybe like RP. Then some of you, I may still see you in SEM 2, okay? So if I don't really see you guys physically, I will hope to see you guys during graduation. Right. So let's keep in contact. You know, I am available via email and on the phone. You have my phone also. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. Ting.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you,
everybody.
doctor.
Merry Christmas,
Happy
doctor.
holiday.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holiday, Dr. Ting.
Yeah,
Dr. Ting.
enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good break, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, doctor.
Bye. Take care.